Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome yet again to another week of SFR. We've got Monaco out of the way. I believe everyone is still with us. Maybe not so much mentally after last week, but we move on to Canada. However, this week on the comms, we've got a bit of a special treat as we're joined by Fefster from GP4. So a bit of a competitor of mine, I suppose you could say, but a comms buddy for tonight. How are you, Felix?
I'm feeling good. How are you?
Yeah, good. Great to have you on board for the race. Sort of working my way through the entire GP2 and GP3 field for commentators at the moment. It's like a job interview every week.
Yeah, it is.
So, obviously, we're at Canada this week. What are your thoughts on Canada as a track, and who do you think's looking like taking the top step today?
I like Canada. It's where you get in the flow of the circuit is quite nice. You can also have a shit time. Excuse my language.
Good start.
Yeah. No, I don't know. Senna looks good. He looked quite good in Monaco as well, didn't he? Still looks properly fast.
Two wins on the bounce now. Looking for a third here. Obviously, Canada one that the weather can chop and change quite a bit. You can have a really wet race. You can have 4 seasons in a day. What do you think the guys will be hoping for tonight?
I think some of them will be wanting a kind of a mixed conditions race.
Yeah.
Again, I'm guessing some people can thrive in the wet, and then some. I'm always hoping for a dry race because I hate the wet. I'm quite fast, but it's just I just don't like it.
Yeah, it can really slow the pace up. I mean, I think if we had had a wet Monaco, we did a practice race, and the race itself took 1 hour. That's I think without safety cars as well. Just on that, obviously with the safety cars, what do you think around here? There's some opportunities, aren't there, where people can lose at big time and bring out a safety car. We've seen a few in the practice races we've been running up until now.
Yeah, I wouldn't bet my money against seeing a safety car tonight.
No, I think there's a good chance there could be a few. Fingers crossed. Obviously, we have a clean race. I think if we go back to last week at Monaco, the GP4 drivers set a fantastic example going into turn 1 at the start of the race with no contact, a little bit up the hill, which, you know, when you got 19, 20 online drivers trying to get around one part of the track, especially somewhere like Monaco, is always difficult. But obviously the big thing again is when the safety car is out is the space that people leave. We've got a big long back straight here where there's potential, you know, of warming up the rear tyres, warming up the brakes, and if you're too close to the car in front, you leave yourself open for an incident.
Yeah, it's really easy to get caught out by someone kind of warming their brakes or something.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll have a quick run over the championship standings for GP4. So after last week with Senna's second win in a row, the championship currently looks with Brumi on top on 99 points, closely followed by Senna. Then there's a little bit of a gap to Luke. We've then got X-Gamer in 4th, Dave Shaw in 5th, but I believe the news I'm hearing is that he's pulled out of GP4. We've got the new guy, Romsey. He's in 6th after winning in Baku and having some good finishes as well elsewhere. Psychomich in 7th. We've got Mad G in 8th. We've got Tom Shadow Britain in 9th. Pro Oliver in 10th. Cod Oliver in 11th. Topics, who should be joining us this week, but doesn't look like he's in the party just yet. Nope. He is currently sitting in 12th. We've got Xander in 13th, James Hook 14th, Racing Podge 15th, Sonic, who's still away on wedding duties, I think, at this time. We can go with that. We've got ISRL Tommy in 17th, Gisalodian in 18th, Energy Dan in 19th, and Need for Speed in 20th. With regards to the gaps in the championships, you've got Brumi on 99, Senna on 78, then Luke 1 point behind Senna on 77. And then there's a 30-point gap. So the top 3 are currently pulling away. Will tonight's race continue that trend, or will we see something different? But I'm going to hand over to Felix quickly, just so we can run through the constructors' standings with you.
Yes, I will do that. For P1 in the constructors, we have McLaren. They are on 130 points. And in P2 on 105 points is Renault. P3 is Haas on 78 points. In P4 is Williams. P5 Alfa Romeo. P6 Red Bull. P7 Ferrari. P8 Mercedes. P9 Toro Rosso. And in P10 we have Racing Point.
So McLaren obviously with a good showing at the moment with Brumi and Sajkovic. Renault close in second with Mad G and Senna, and obviously with Senna hitting his stride with 2 wins in a row, I think the team will now be looking at Mad G to step up and start bringing in some top 5 finishes, and if they start doing that, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with, and I think they could quickly take that top spot away from McLaren. What are your thoughts on the pairings of the teams in GP4?
Yeah, I think both Renault guys are looking quite strong here, so for Canada, so I think they have a good chance of clawing some of that 25-point gap down a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Brumi and Sajkovic, they're both quick guys, so I think they'll for sure score some points, but I think Renault has a good chance of outscoring them today.
Yeah. I think what I've been impressed with Brumi is he had a fantastic start to the season, then he had a real tough race in Bahrain. He bounced back with some great results after that as well. If we take a look at his form across the championship, he's had 25 points in Australia, 4 points in Bahrain. He then won again in China, came third in Azerbaijan, came fourth in Spain, and came second in Monaco. A real sign of a proper championship contender.
Yeah,
if we
definitely.
look at Luke, he's had a couple of rough races, didn't finish in Spain, but then across the board he's come third first. He scored 9 points in China with getting the fastest lap as well. 12 points in Azerbaijan, so fourth there, and then a podium in Monaco in third place. And then if we just quickly look at Senna as well, he came second in Australia. He had a rough race in Bahrain and obviously didn't finish China. Had an awful Azerbaijan as well, but 2 wins in a row have really thrown him back up into the mix.
Yeah, just to quickly go back on Luke there, he's kind of pulling the weight himself in the constructors.
Yeah,
because
I know Giselodian's had some connection issues. I know he did in China. I'm not sure if that's something that's been sort of ongoing. Let's have a look at his connection. Is he in tonight? Or is
I don't think he's in tonight,
no, he's
actually.
not. So Luke on his own carrying the Haas flag once more.
Yeah.
I'm sure Giselodian will be getting a nice word in the ear from Gunther Steiner sometime soon, and no doubt we definitely wouldn't be repeating what would be said on here. So the guys have readied up, a little bit of a delay while we waited for someone to restart, but we head off to a short qualifying, and I have asked for a couple of weathermen to drop me in a report as soon as we find out. How are your thoughts going into Canada for your race, Felix, tomorrow? Or our race, should I say?
I'm just trying to stay alive. Since I had a not so good race in Monaco, let's put it like that.
Yeah, I didn't want to sort of get into detail, but obviously throughout the practice sessions you were sort of hitting close to GP2 pace and looked very much in command. But yeah, the misfortune of getting caught up in someone else's mistake, should we say? We'll keep it polite. But
yeah,
looking to bounce back here after your run of podiums as well. Oh, so we've got a wet qualifying. I definitely don't need a weather report on that. It is absolutely pouring down.
Ooh. Yikes.
So what have we got for the race? Well, this makes it interesting because I don't think we've seen a wet qualifying quite this wet anyway. I think we've seen sort of an intermediate run in one of the leagues.
Yeah.
We've got a wet quali, as you can all see, but we've got a dry race. So a sigh of relief for quite a few, I would imagine.
What would your strategy be for... Oh, we got Tom coming out.
Oh, of course.
First one out in quali.
Of course. It does make me wonder half the time if he ever actually puts a setup in or just goes out.
Yeah, I don't know. What would your
comes-
strategy be when in a wet qualifying?
I think what I do, depending on how wet the qualifying was going to continue, if it was going to ease off and potentially switch to inters, I'd go out on a set of wets with maybe sort of 3-4 laps of fuel in, just to get a feel for the sort of braking points that you require in the wet racing. Just a feel for the track. Obviously, just a bit of a refresh. I know we all do 100 different practice sessions during the week, but even when you've had sort of half an hour break from the previous race, it's always good to just go out and get a couple of laps in.
Yeah.
And then there's the guys that haven't been running the practice sessions who have come in cold, who need to get a a good run. What about yourself?
Yeah, I agreed. Yeah, as you said, it kind of depends on what the session looks like. But as it seems, it's a fully wet quali. I would just put quite a lot of fuel in the car and just go out and do the laps to get used to the conditions.
Yeah.
And just get quicker and quicker, and then at the end, go back in, take out the fuel, and go out with a new set of tires.
So Tom starts. Do we call it a flying lap in the wet? A relatively quick lap.
A lap, he starts.
I think when you sit back and you watch the guys in qualifying in a wet quali, it looks quick. I think for when you're actually driving it, because we're also used to driving in the dry, it can almost feel pedestrian.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
So
just a note, Tom has actually, or Shadow Britain, he's switched to medium traction control this week. He's going to be getting to grips with. Has he kept it? Yeah, I don't know.
I would say looking
question.
at him through them two corners there that he has, because the car was very twitchy and wanting to sort of power slide. But as he comes down, he's touched the grass, he's going to run wide into there. He's held that nicely. That looked like it braked a little bit too late. So we've got
a yellow flag in sector 2 on screen again. Someone's had a spin and
slow
turn
cars
6.
with other cars flying. But we've got Eklund in the chat shouting out for Senna and Podge. As Tom comes through the final two corners across the start-finish straight and sets a 1:23.8. That's not a bad lap in the wet. Not a bad lap. So we've got
a Red Bull coming down the straight. It's Romsey.
Romsey comes across the line. And he sets a 1:22.1. Wow, so a fantastic wet lap from Romsey and nearly spins it going into turn 1.
We've got DCG, P2.
P2. Broomy goes into P4. So the slowest of the time sets so far. Mad G does a 1:22.9 in the wet. And we've now got Luke coming across the line. And he sets a 1:25.8.
We got Senna coming towards the line as well. See what he can do. It's
Senna does a 1:22.9. So literally 200s, 200, split Senna and Mad G, the Renault teammates. As Racing Podge goes off into turn 1. Energy Dan is on a lap, but it's been invalidated, so we'll flick back to Psychomich, who's now coming up the long back straight. Got a couple of new guys in the race tonight, a few reserves that have come in for those who have parted ways. Pel de Ragus, I'm not sure I'm even saying that right, but Psychomich gets it very sideways coming through the last corner.
Yeah, that's not a optimal run through the chicane there.
No, and that only
125.8.
Yeah, so probably lost a good 4 or 5 temps, maybe more, coming out of there. The rain doesn't look like it's easing up yet. Obviously, as the cars go round, you'll see a drier line start to appear, and obviously the benefit is stick to that as much as you can for your lap.
Got Romsey on another lap as he started, going through turn 3, 4.
So we'll get the lap data up. He's perfect.
Up by 2.5 tenths.
Yep, looking good. Really difficult circuit. I mean, even in the dry, you know, there's so many places on this track that you can invalidate your lap.
Yeah,
in the wet,
or lose the back end, or touch the wall, or...
Yeah, in the wet, even probably more difficult to keep the car on the track. I find that racing in the wet, sort of, you can reduce your risk of penalties because you don't really want to touch the curbs, so cutting the inside of the corner shouldn't be an issue. But I do find that obviously your corner speed means so much. Your braking points have to differ massively to get your corner speed right, and that's what makes you quick in the wet. So as we watch Romsey, he comes through the chicane, looks like he's kept that nice and clean and in
that
line.
Was a nice run. Should be 20, low 20.
No improvement there, as we've got ISRL Tommy now starts a lap. We've got Energy. Oh, we've got a Mercedes in the background flying around there as well. I notice we've only got one of the Mercedes in the race tonight as well, so no need for speed. As Energy Dan comes down the long back straight, all touches the grass when braking and invalidates by turning in far too soon. This is the problem with Canada, isn't it? You have 18 minutes. We've already had 7 minutes pass. You have 18 minutes to set a lap without having to come in, change tyres, or refuel the car and stuff like that. If you get 2 runs invalidated, you really start to put the pressure on yourself to achieve a fast lap.
Absolutely.
Then potentially you become a little bit too conservative, as Dan loses an end plate just around there. You become a little bit too conservative, and you end up not setting your potential fastest lap, which then could see you a few extra places down the grid as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We got DCG on a lap, purple sector 1 and sector 2.
I've got him on screen now as he comes down the long straight once more. So you can see the line starting to appear where the cars are getting rid of the water. As DCG comes up to the line and sets a 1:21.6. That's a really solid quali time in wet conditions. Is it getting down to intermediate stage? The rain doesn't look like it's easing up, but for those of you that have played the Formula 1 game, you'll know when it's raining. Jeff loves to tell you as quickly as he can that the tyres displace 65 litres of water per second. So, the water is
apparently that's very important information.
It gives me absolute comfort when driving my car at 150 miles an hour in the wet to know that 65 litres of water are being displaced underneath me.
Times 4.
Exactly, yeah. I'll let you work out the maths on that because I haven't had enough coffee today to get to that.
260 litres.
Thank you. See, this is why we got you on board, Felix.
Yep.
So, watch Luke. He gets it a little bit wide through there. I also find with some of the corners here, one lap you can take sort of a similar line and not get a warning or an invalidation, and the next lap you will, but I think it is really narrow on the delta for the speed that you actually hit the cut of the corner at. It will either let you have it or obviously just take it away if it's too fast.
Yeah, we got Hooky without a front wing.
Yeah, so another one, the Williams actually, some big changes this week. So obviously, as you mentioned, you've got Shadow Go and medium traction control from full. We've got James Hook, who's gone and picked up his first wheel for the PlayStation. And in all fairness, he's had his problems in the practice sessions and is probably hating the fact that it's raining now as well. But he's stuck with it.
That's not what he would have wanted.
No. So as Energy Dan leaves the pits, we'll just have a quick rundown.
So we've got Oliver coming through the chicane.
Flick to him.
Ooh, that's a nice run.
And as he comes to
Did he get into the 23.4?
So up by 2.1 seconds on his previous time. So you got to think if he continues to show that improvement, his next lap will put him on pole.
Senna's gone P2, 21.9.
Yeah, that's a good lap. So 3 temps off of DCG, who's looking really good. But obviously the race is dry, so the question is with the setups for the cars, because obviously with the Parc Fermé rules, is what have the guys done? Have they gone for a wet setup to grab a fantastic grid spot, or have they gone for a dry setup and risk the running quali, knowing that the pace is going to be there in the race?
Yeah, I think that really depends on the track. I would say, like, if it would have been Monaco wet qualifying dry race, I would have gone for a wet setup.
Yeah, but you can't afford to be back down the grid, can you?
No, but here you can pass quite easily. Well,
yeah, you've got
it's difficult to pass, but it's possible.
So we've got DCG out on the intermediates, so he's feeling that it's time to change.
Now it's changed back again, so it's in the pits, kind of choosing.
Obviously just toying with us there.
We've got Mad G on the lap, who's not had a great run through the first chicane.
Oh, Zander
Sander.
gets a 5-second penalty.
I must have been
coming into the pits. Yeah. So Senna, this lap has already been invalidated, so he's cut the chicane. We've got Romsey, he's on an invalidated lap as well. He now starts a flying lap, so we'll stick on board with Romsey as he's in third at the moment. A good showing from Romsey in the wet.
Yeah.
We obviously, you know, we run... Oh, Scott Oliver's left the session. Is he disconnected? Hopefully he can get back in the next 6 minutes to join the race.
22.8 from Mad G, he's in P6. Oh, I was invalidated, sorry.
So Romsey goes purple in sector 1, runs it out really wide there. That's scary enough to do in the dry, let alone in the wet. So as he comes down to the difficult fast right-left kink and pulls that in well. His Need for Speed has joined, so he'll be starting at the back of the grid. As Romsey goes purple in sector 2 as well. Seems to carry some good corner speed and a late apex around the hairpin.
That's a pretty good line through there in the wet, actually.
Yeah, is the track drying up? So Cod Oliver's managed to get back in. So we've got DCG now. Is he going to keep the intermediates on? Romsey gets a really good line around there. Looks really smooth and really quick. And comes across the line with a 1:20.14 and takes pole. Provisional pole to Romsey. DCG
good
didn't
lap.
go for the intermediates.
He might be checking the delta on the screen in the pits.
They flashed back up again, so I don't know how many times he needs to read it, but I don't think it's going to change.
Maybe, it might be changing.
Due to the conditions?
Yeah. Because right now it looks like it's raining a bit less.
So we're on board with Senna. He's purple in sector 2 and he's up by 2.22 temps. I'll get my words out. We've got Gordon Allison in the chat saying hopefully all of the rain will be used up tonight and it'll be a dry race, or it'll just be dry full stop tomorrow for GP3.
Yeah.
I can go either way.
DCG has gone out on the inters.
We've also got Cod Oliver who switched to the inters. Still in the pits. So let's go on board with DCG. Now he is on an outlet.
Senna might be a bit pressed for time here to get back to the pits and put on a new set of tyres.
He's not going to make that. Oh, that's close coming out of the pits. So Romsey currently sits on provisional
Romsey
pole.
goes for another one on the wets.
And doesn't improve.
I think it was a cool down lap. He started his...
Ah, okay, so he's now starting his flying lap. DCG hasn't started his flying lap, so we'll flick back to Romsey. Let's go for the onboard view just as he comes down into here. Touches the curb there.
Cod Oliver also on the Inters.
Yep, and we've also got Energy Dan switching to the Inters as well. So these are going to be the final runs for these guys on outlaps now. We'll see where Romsey's at through Sector 2. And he's down by 2 tenths. So let's flick back to DCG, who's just started his lap. And he's on the intermediates. So our first intermediate runner to be on a flying lap. How does he look through there? Not bad. Oh, he's lost. No, yeah, I thought he'd lost an end plate then. So he's down by 2 tenths, and he's. Is it going to come in the second half of the lap though? The car looks to be quite scribbly coming through there. I think Senna's binned the ideas off of going to the intermediates. Oh, he gets it really sideways around there and outbrakes himself.
So DCG is backed off his lap. Decides to go for a final attempt, I'm guessing.
We've got Broomy up into 4th, so our championship leader. He'll be pleased with that.
Mad G into P6.
And we've got X Gamers a 5 grid place penalty with a collision with Cod Oliver. As Tommy retires from the session. Not too sure what's happened there. Has he had an accident on track? Or is that... Oh no, he's retired in the pits.
So DCG trying to will start his final lap now.
We've got a yellow flag and a Williams off at the very end of Sector 1.
Yes, it is. Hooks had a spin.
Looks like DCG is struggling a bit too much with... he's hit the wall, loses a big bit of wing, and he's got it sideways big time. I definitely don't think the Inters are the ones. Broomy's all over the place coming up the long straight. We've got Senna's finished his qualifying, so the very best he's going to get is P3. People are retiring. I don't think the weather's really improved. "16 seconds remain.
Let's see what Cod Oliver can do on the Inters. Let's start his final lap.
I just don't think it's dried up enough.
No, I don't think so either. It doesn't look like it actually. Looks better for Cod Oliver than it did for DCG though.
Yeah, now how's he going to get on round here? Nice and quick through there, and he's 3 tenths up. Almost 4 tenths up on his time. Gets that one a little bit wrong, but if the tyres are going to work, he's going to pull plenty of time back in the rest of the lap. So Romsey has finished his qualifying. He's currently in provisional pole. DCG is in the pits, so his qualifying is over. Where can Cod Oliver put himself? He's 4 tenths up. We'll currently put him on a 22.6, so he's not going to trouble the front 3 or front 4. Actually, this is between him and Mad G, so if he can pull something out in this last sector, he could pip Mad G for 7th place. Energy Dan pulls himself up to 11th, so he'll be well pleased with that. Good run through there from Oliver. So has he got enough? He comes to the line. He needs to beat a 1:22.665, and he does. A 1:22.501. Luke comes in just behind him, and he sets a 1:22.0. So Mad G down to 9th in the space of 2 cars going over the grid in about 15 seconds.
Yeah, he's not going to be happy with that.
So that is qualifying done from the looks of it. So a great session there for Romsey and DCG as well. A really solid qualifying. Senna will be pleased with 3rd place. I think had it have been dry, Senna would have been looking at pole or definitely the front row.
Yeah.
We've got.
But he's shown he has the pace in the dry, so
absolutely.
I'm thinking he's still looking quite good here.
So Felix, if you want to just run down the qualifying list.
Yep. So on pole position we got Romsey, P2 we have DCG, P3 is Sensei Martins, P4 Luke, Sander who is in P5, he has a 5-place grid penalty, Broom in P6, Pro Oliver P7, Code Oliver in P8, P9 is Mad G, P10 X Gamer, P11 Energy Dan, ISRL Tommy in P12, Shadow Britain in P13, Pel Diragais, whatever, sorry, P14, Racing Porsche P15, Hooky 16, the Psycho Mitch in P17th.
Great timing, just as that finished. So Mad G, even though he did lose then 2 places from 7th, is actually going to go back into 7th once the 5 grid place penalties have been handed out. We go into the race. It's cloudy. It's dry. The temperatures are going to be a little bit cooler looking at that. So tyre wear not so severe. Felix, we've had the qualifying. We've seen who's finished where. Obviously conditions are complete opposite, but who do you think is going to win?
I'm going to go with 3 in a row. Senna.
Hard to disagree.
Yeah.
Having seen his dry pace, I think the start is going to be obviously imperative to keeping it clean and not getting caught up in someone else's accident or even making a mistake yourself, because at the end of the day we're all human. We can make them.
Yeah.
I think someone to look out for potentially, Romsey. I think potentially a good shout. He's looked good on the dry in the practice sessions, but we all know that with the way the safety cars are on this game, it could all change straight away as the guys get ready for the formation lap. So we've got interesting strategies here. Senna's gone for the softs while DCG has gone for the mediums. So let's get the tyres up that the guys are running. So we've got Luke on the hards, Mr. Hard Tyres himself, really. That guy loves starting a race on hard tyres. If you look further down the field, we've got Psychomich starting on the hards, we've got James Hook on the mediums, but a good mix of tyre combinations. It's going to keep it interesting for the guys watching, and also for interesting for us to keep on top of the strategies as well.
However, I'm not sure why you would go for the hards, because they're terrible.
The only thing that may cross someone's mind, and this obviously means that it's crossed mine as well, is if there isn't a safety car within the first sort of 5 to 6 laps, you could gain track position. If there's then another safety car later in the race, it could work out quite nicely for you. But I think you could fit in a one-stop strategy. You could do hards to mediums. You could do mediums to hards. I don't think if you start on the softs, you will be. Oh, and Senna.
Oh, Senna's left the session.
Oh, not again. So he's going to have a minute or so. I don't think he's going to be back in time for the start, which is an absolute nightmare, because obviously, and hold on a second. How many people have we lost? Because we've got a lot of people ghosting.
I just think they were inside kind of each other, so I don't think we've actually lost them.
Right, no, they are going back to a solid Formula 1 car. Oh, I feel awful for Senna.
Yeah, I do as well.
So the cars take their positions on the grid. Fingers crossed he can get back in. So we wait for the lights for the start of the Canadian GP. It's GP4. Who have you got your money on? Tell us in the chat. 5 red lights and they're out, and it's away we go. Romsey gets a fantastic start. DCG holding on to second. Senna's car has actually managed to jump DCG in the disconnection. As we look further down the field, looks like everyone's kept it really tidy through turns 1 and 2. Romsey,
everyone's made it through.
Storming off with the lead. Mad G's made it up to third. So that's a
stonking start from him.
So that's 4 positions gained. So we know what tyres everyone's on. Let's have a look at the positions gained. So yeah, Mad G makes up 4 positions from the start. Now I have a feeling, as much as we don't want to be, we're going to be inundated with penalty results here. As DCG and Mad G are going at it into the hairpin. DCG's got the inside line. Mad G goes for the switchback. Senna's back in the session. So Mad G, does he get the traction out of there? No, he doesn't, but he's going to have the run in the slipstream with DCG. Watch Romsey scampers away. Senna's dropped all the way back to 14th. He's lost 11 places. Mad G's going to go for the move into the S's. Does that work?
Very nice move.
Dick. We don't know, obviously, if he gets a warning for that. But it looks like everyone is still going clean as DCG now is coming under pressure from Luke.
So it's looking like Senna is back. His car is no longer ghosted. So he will be absolutely fuming inside the helmet.
Yep. What he needs to do now is just keep some level of composure, not rush into overtakes, although as you see him go through them 2 corners there, he is a man on a mission. Oh, he's cut that too much. That's definitely going to be a warning there, and this is where the problem is. He's now going to put himself in a position. He's got himself past X Gamer.
Mad G is absolutely flying at the moment.
Yep, he's already pulled up to the rear of Romsey.
He's gained about 2/10 to the hairpin.
5 places made on 2 laps. That's a great start. Energy Dan up into 6th. He's made 3 places. And that's
it's looking like Luke is struggling on those hard tires here at the start.
Yeah.
Probably struggling a bit for temperature.
So we've got some fastest laps coming in. Mad G does the fastest lap with a 12.6. Not surprised to see that with the way he's going at the moment. We've got a yellow in sector 3. We've got Psychomich who spun on the hards. So potentially tried to avoid the wall. He's lost half of his front wing as well, so he'll be coming into the pits at the end of this lap. Fortunately, no VSC or a safety car.
Senna's made up some positions. He's got past Diragis. He's on the back of Racing Porsche now. Porsche is hitting. Oh, that's very close. So Porsche brushed the wall. I think they made slight contact, but Senna looks okay.
Podge has got damage.
Oh yeah, he's got a plank or a front
and he's
wing.
now lost another end plate. He's on the grass. So Podge is going to need to come in. People are getting past him coming down into here. This is going to be tight.
Yeah. I think he needs to back off here.
Oh, he's on the grass again. So we're just going to keep our eye on this as they come down into the S's. Now we've got to be careful of the braking points here. So obviously the braking point is different for the chicane as it is the pits. And oh! That was too close. So we head back to the front.
You called it, didn't you?
Yeah, Romsey still holds off Mad G, who's going to be absolutely delighted with that start. Psychomich picks up a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Something else that the guys need to be aware of is obviously this pit lane is difficult enough to slow down and go into. But when you're missing parts of your car or the tyres are worn, it's even harder to slow the car down.
Yeah, it is.
So we've got Senna up into 12th. He's now going to be looking to try and put a move on Pro Oliver. Catches a bit of grass there, which is going to slow him down coming down the straight here. He doesn't get the move done into there, and it's a really, really difficult part of the track to pass on. So we jump on board with Senna. James Hook picks up a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. Senna gets a nice tight line, but that's close to Pro Oliver. Ooh. And if you look in front of Senna, he's got an absolute train of cars. So he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 positions, all within reach.
Romsey's got a 3-second penalty, sorry to cut you off.
3-second penalty. Energy Dan picks up a 3-second penalty.
I think we will see a lot of that today.
Yeah.
It's looking like Mad G he can stay behind Romsey quite well, but he's having trouble kind of getting the run out of the final corner.
He gets close to the wall there as well. Wow.
That's a brush and a half.
So the sun is starting to come out, which is going to bring the track temperatures up.
Ooh! Mad G's brushed the wall again. Into the chicane. His front wing looks okay.
DCG now coming back into the game. So we're going to go back to what tyres the guys have fitted. There we go.
Is this the move for Mad G?
Is he close enough? So the DRS is going to open up for him here. What DCG
Got
will
a
be
bad
hoping,
run out of the hairpin.
yeah, what DCG will be hoping for here is that they can hold each other up a bit, because his mediums are now going to be coming into play. However, if you take a look in 4th place, Mr. Hard Tyres is still there. He's only 2 seconds off of DCG. It's Mad G looks to make a move there. Romsey covers him off nicely. Mad G gets really tight on the inside there, and has he got a run? That's going to be too much going into there. You'd have to be mad to make a move. Romsey comes through
Mad
there.
G just needs to keep his composure here. He's clearly quicker.
He's really close, but yeah, this is one of them places where if you make the move at the wrong time, you can end up losing the race.
Yeah.
So he gets the DRS open again. Pulls to the inside, but again another
Keeps wary of the
corner.
wall there.
Yep. Oh, spins it a little bit on the curb coming through there. We flick back to Senna Martins, who's now up to Cod Oliver, so he's managed to dispatch of Pro Oliver. Cod Oliver's had a horrible run through there, which is going to put Senna right on the back of him. Now, does Senna get the move done coming down into the hairpin? He does. Does he get the run out? He does. They keep it nice and clean. Senna
Both
gets the
have
DRS,
DRS.
but yeah, this is going to be interesting coming down into here. So who's got the better wing setting? Cod Oliver looks very quick in a straight line. Senna manages to get around there, and that's a great move. Really great racing from both of them there.
Yeah, very clean. And
so that brings Senna up into 10th. Next on his radar is
Cod Oliver
Shadow
tries to go
Britain.
back down the inside there. Shadow all over the back of Energy Dan.
Yep. And Dan all over the back of ISRL Tommy. X-Gamer picks up a 3-second penalty. We just flick back to the front. Romsey doing his best to try and create a little bit of breathing space over Mad G at the moment. He's got the gap to 9/10, but if you look behind Mad G, we've now got DCG within half a second of him on tyres that will be feeling much better at this time of the race. We've got a yellow in sector 2. It looks like absolute mayhem back there. So Energy Dan has got up the inside of ISRL Tommy, but then
Shadow Britain just launches one down the inside.
So we'll stick with this as they come down into here. They've all got DRS. Hopefully they keep it clean coming into here. Energy Dan takes a very
Senna
defensive
pits.
line going through there, and Senna's come in. He knows that the undercut here is...
Oh, they pit on the same lap. No. Both Renaults in the pits
so
at the
they've
same
double
time.
stacked.
So not optimal communication from the guys.
No, oh, what a mistake. Did they think that they had enough gap as Shadow Britain picks up a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings? Senna comes back out in 15th. So the hard work begins again. So we get back to the battle here from Energy Dan down to X-Gamer. Everyone is in DRS range.
Oh, that's a battle for the lead. The medium tires has really come into their own here.
Yep.
As Romsey, DCG is now on the back of Romsey.
DCG should get this move done coming down here, depending on... Yep, looks like he goes for the inside. This is the pit window for the soft tyres. Yep, Romsey goes into the pits, which kind of throws
DCG loses
off.
the back end.
Yeah, threw him off a little bit, I think, with him going into the pits. So Romsey comes into the pits. That puts our championship leader Broomy up into second. Luke goes into third on the hard tyres, and he looks comfortable. He's got a nice gap. Energy Dan picks up a 5-second penalty for speeding into the pit lane.
Will Mad G come out, or Romsey come out in relation to Mad G? I think it will be close. Romsey's got him.
Romsey's got that covered off. So the undercut
Actually, it's not close
working.
at all.
The undercut not working at all for Mad G there. Whether he had a terrible in lap or a bad out lap. So got Need for Speed comes out of the pits as James Hook comes round final corner. So our leader DCG has 3 seconds over Broomy, who's on the mediums. He then has 2.1 seconds over Luke, who's on the hards, and then it's ISRL Tommy with Xander all over the back of him on the mediums.
Tom's having a good race in P6.
Oh, Oliver puts the manners on X-Gamer there. Now who gets the DRS? Oliver gets the DRS, so he should maintain that position. So Mad G now 3.6 seconds behind Romsey, so he really lost out, didn't he, in that changeover?
Yeah, but he did actually change his front wing in the pit stop, so that will probably be the reason.
That will be why. Oh, so we've got... Oh no! ISRL Tommy and Xander come together, causing Xander to spin, which puts Shadow Britain up into 5th. Looks like they've got away with damage. Let's check out ISRL Tommy's car. Looks like he's fully intact as well. So a little coming together into that turn 1 does kind of suck you in, doesn't it, to make a move, but then you realise halfway through the move that it's probably not the turn to make it.
Yeah, and then it's already too late.
Senna Martin sets the fastest lap. He's now up into 13th. And he's now back on the hunt after Cod Oliver after the... I can only guess there's a communication error between the two Renault drivers going into the pits, as Need for Speed picks up a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings.
Can Sander get Shadow back? Doesn't look like that. Shadow gets a pretty decent exit
so the
out of the hairpin.
A little bit of team communication there from the Red Bulls, I think, as X-Gamer knew he wasn't on the faster strategy, has given the position to Romsey, who now net is in the lead. James Hook picks up a 3-second penalty. We go back to the front, so I know we said about the hard tyres, but Luke seems to be able to make them work, doesn't he? He's about 6-7 seconds off the lead. Then mediums are now going to start to scream enough is enough. If there are no safety cars, this one stop could potentially... Well, Sproomy gets it very sideways coming out of there, so his medium tyres have definitely seen better days, and loses around a second to DCG, with Luke gaining a second as well.
Senna's put the move on Cod Oliver.
Yeah, so he's got past him.
One of them are lagging a bit. I think it's Cod Oliver, maybe.
Hopefully it's not Senna. Xander picks up a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. Senna, you can just see the difference in speed when you see Senna and then someone else.
Yeah.
I mean, we can appreciate the guy's probably driving aggressively after the connection error.
Yeah, with the pit stop error as well, I think he's got smoke coming out of his ears, probably.
Yeah, one of them ones where you want him to finish on the podium, but I'd be too scared to get him in for a chat afterwards, because I'm not sure what would what would be said. So Mad G's managed to make a move on X-Gamer, who's on 10-lap-old mediums. Mad G on much fresher mediums. He's now 3 seconds behind Romsey. And it looks like our battle for the lead at the moment, if we take the people that have stopped, is between Mad G and Romsey. And Romsey is getting held up behind Xander.
Senna through turn 1 on Pro Oliver. This is going to end in tears. It didn't.
Another fast
well done
for the race, so he's going to want to get past. But if we flick back to Romsey, Romsey's getting really held up now. He's got 2 cars in front of him on medium tyres that are pretty much spent. This has given Mad G... He's now pulled the gap down to 1.9. It was 3, nearly 4 seconds after the pits. Romsey's struggling to get past. Which way is Xander going? A bit suggestive on the switch in there, under braking. Mad G now gets the gap down to 1.4 seconds, so he's going to be in DRS shortly. So has Romsey got enough now to get past? Xander's tactics in...
Can he get both of them here? Oh, don't do anything stupid. That looks stupid. Oh, it did worked out fine, but
I'm not.
Yeah, Romsey has to get up the position there.
Shadow gets him back.
I think Romsey got an illegal overtake there because he was completely off the track. As my TV is turned off, thank you very much.
We'll set up the just giving page for you to get a telly that doesn't switch itself off. Everyone in SFR could just have a little whip round for Felix.
That would be greatly appreciated.
So Senna's got himself past Energy Dan, who's just picked up another penalty. So Senna now up into 10th. Mad G 0.6, 0.5 back behind Romsey. So it's kind of back to where we were at the start of the race now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Both on Romsey on 1 lap fresher tyres. So you've got to think, if Romsey can get past, it's Mad G gets really close going through the hairpin. Sajkovic picks up a 3-second penalty. We've now got Romsey wanting to make a move on Shadow. Now, does Shadow go into the pits? Romsey's got the move done way before, but does Shadow realise if he's going into the pits, he needs to slow up? He doesn't go into the pits. But G has got a perfect run coming out of the S's on him. And he has the DRS, which means he's going to get the move done way before as well. I think Shadow did the right thing there and realised that there was no point fighting.
Yeah, because we talked a lot about this. It's sometimes it's just better to give up the position and just do your own race instead of trying to fight someone that's already in a better position, better tires, quicker.
So at the moment, if Luke was to go to lap...
Dan has had a spin. There's no yellow flag, strangely.
No, he's still going, and he has no damage whatsoever.
He's done
some lagging.
Sebastian Vettel.
There's some lagging going on there, but Romsey and Mad G going at it now. So Romsey in the DRS of ISRL Tommy, so he'll be looking to get that move done as Mad G comes up alongside him.
Mad G has done a smart thing there, switched his ERS off.
Yep.
Just tried to get a nice run through the
So DCG
chicane.
is in the pits. We've got Broomy and ISRL Tommy in the pits. So that puts Luke into the lead of the race, with Romsey in second and Mad G in third.
Shadow in P4, he would be looking to pit quite soon.
Yeah, I would imagine.
I hope.
Them tyres are going to, especially if he is running medium traction control, worn tyres.
Yeah, they'll
like
be
that.
Screaming at this point. Oh, Magis lost a bit of an end plate.
Xander picks up another 3-second penalty as Gareth all over the place there.
He's gonna need to pit again, I'm afraid.
Glitched out of the session in 11th place, so another connection issue. So if we look at Luke, he's out in front. He's got 4 seconds over Romsey. Mad G, does he pit? No, he's going to keep on going, but what's happening now?
Shadow keeps on going as well.
Yeah, this could be at a point where this is risky, because if you look in 5th, DCG is now closing him in, and I think DCG now with no damage has got the pace to get Mad G as well. Yeah. ISRL Tommy picks up a 3-second penalty.
Is Shadow going for a 1-stop here, do you think?
I think he might be trying medium soft.
Ah, okay, yeah, that might be that, yeah.
So Shadow now has DCG all over the back of him. DCG pulls to the inside. He has the DRS. This is not a place to make a move, is it? DCG does a great job through there. Wow, well done. I think, again, you have to compliment both drivers on that, because
absolutely.
You need 2 people going into there fully understanding what needs to be done if a move is going to be made. But Shadow doing the right thing, I think. He's, like you said, focusing on his race.
Yeah, picking his battles. Not getting involved in things unnecessarily, I would say.
No, so Mad G comes down. He's now 2 seconds behind Romsey, so he is struggling. Romsey now has pulled in Luke to the sounds of 2.5 seconds. The delta for a pit stop here is around 16 seconds, so seeing as you are the mathematician, Felix, can you work out roughly where Luke is going to come out when he pits?
So he would come out... give me a minute. He would come out in around P8, P9.
Oh, we've got a yellow in sector 3, and I'm not sure why. It's gone. So Mad G holding 2 seconds, even though he's missing his end plate. Still going relatively well. However, he does now have... as James Hook picks up a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. And James Hook retires in the pits. Sad to see. I I think obviously if he was on his controller, he'd have probably been doing a lot better. But you have to give kudos to the guy because he hasn't given up, has he? He's stuck with it. So DCG pulls out wickedly from the slipstream of Mad G, and he gets the move done. That's Mad G back down to 4th. As Shadow continues.
Senna gets a beautiful run through the chicane on Broomy. Goes down the outside through turn 1. Is it gonna work? It does.
Got it done. Yeah, he's got that done. He's been very good into that sector of the track. Oh, as Mad G picks up a 3-second penalty, that could be huge when it comes to the race results at the end.
Yeah, Romsey, as we know from before, has also picked up a 3-second penalty. Senna now on the back of Shadow Britain.
Yep, I think he's now going to get him down here. He's got much fresher tyres, should get a better run. But he does have Broomy still up the proverbial. As ISRL Tommy retires.
Senna gets the move done, and he gets Shadow Britain in between himself and Broomy as well.
Looks like Broomy's
which I think
go for
was the plan.
Into the hairpin. Does Broomy get the move? Whoa, that was close.
Oh, that's bloody
Broomy
close.
was really close then, but great driving by all three. Can't say his name. I apologise. Palderagas picks up a 3-second penalty. So Mad G now has Senna behind him. Oh, Senna whacks the wall. I'll be interested to see what tyres Tom's going to go on to here. It's got to be hards.
Yeah, it's got to be hards.
His energy down overtakes him. Oh, Luke picks up a 3-second penalty.
No, it's softs.
He's gone.
No, it's mediums.
Oh, hold on. What?
He's gone to another set of mediums.
Right. Okay. I'll let you work that one out.
I'll get back to you. I have to think about it.
We'll discuss that one next week. So Senna now behind his teammate Mad G. Mad G obviously with a 3-second penalty and a missing end plate. However, Senna has Broomy for company, and Broomy is on much fresher medium tyres. Do you think team orders come into play?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Things are getting really close down at the front here.
Romsey's got past Luke.
Mad G goes into the pits. So Mad G pits, so that's got to be another set of mediums. So they're going to be difficult at the end of the race. Broomy's managed to get back past Senna. So if we now look at the race lead, we've got Romsey in first, Luke in second, but DCG and Broomy, really fresh mediums. 5 lap old against 11 lap old and 9 mediums and 19 lap old hards.
Shadow's absolutely flying at the moment.
Well, he will be. But we've got my teammate from GP4, Hunter, saying in the chat he doesn't understand Tom's strategy. Yep, good. Anyone that does, as Romsey picks up a 3-second penalty. Anyone that does understand that strategy, if they want to get their answers on a postcard, we'll read them out later on, or potentially we may hear from the man himself if he's nailed the strategy and gets in the top 3.
He's got some explaining to do nonetheless.
So up at the front it is incredibly tight. We've got Romsey, but I don't think DCG has picked up a penalty, has he? So at the moment
I don't think so.
Luke comes into the pits, so he's now going to switch to the mediums, and that's him done for the rest of the race. Luke could undercut here because the guys in front of him have got to stop again.
Yeah, absolutely.
So depending on where Luke comes out, he's now on his way out. Zander goes past him. We've got Senna in the pits as well. So
he's going to be just ahead of Energy Dan, I think.
Ahead of Energy Dan. He is, and he has got clear track to the sound of 3.3 seconds to Zander. This is Luke's race to lose, I would say. I know he's got 1 3-second penalty, but the guys in front of him have got to stop, and he's now going to be much quicker than they are. Palderagas picks... That's not even his name. Okay. Palderagas. Dave picks up another 3-second time penalty. I'll have to have a
Yeah.
chat with him
Why
and
not?
get the pronunciation of his name so that I can get it right going forth. If we go back
DCG
to the
making a
front,
move.
Yep, DCG on Romsey. So DCG takes the lead. Romsey goes into
Romsey
the pits.
pits.
Yep, right time. He's following the exact strategy as Podge picks up a 3-second penalty. So DCG, as he comes out near Sykomic should give that position up. He does. Well done, Sykomic. So Romsey now coming out of the pits. Now Luke's got past Romsey already.
Ahead, yeah.
So Luke is already ahead. This is what I mean. The undercut here is absolutely massive. DCG gets a 3-second penalty, so that evens things out between the guys at the front.
So Romsey has 6 seconds.
We've got a
DCG
yellow
has 3.
flag in sector 1. Cod Oliver's had a coming together with Peldervagus.
Peldervagus.
Always he's a bit wild going through there. Doesn't pick up a penalty. He is missing an end plate as well.
G on the back of Energy Down.
Yep, and then you've got Senna just 1.2 seconds behind them. Energy Dan goes into the hairpin really. Ooh, that's going to be tight coming out of there. Do they give each other enough room?
They do.
There's a touch there.
Bit of wheel banging going on.
So Mad G should get that done now
Good
with
measure.
the DRS open. So that gets Mad G up into 7th. Oh! There's a big coming together. And we have a virtual safety car.
Don't know why.
I think that is for the debris caused from Energy Dan.
Anyone else make it into the pit? No, not really.
So, how things are at the moment. Who have we got that needs to stop again? So we've got Pro Oliver. He's in third. He's going to have to stop again. We've got 12 laps left for DCG and Broomy on 8-lap-old mediums. They're gonna.
So basically, the top 4 has to stop again.
Luke.
Actually, Shadow Britain has to stop again as well.
Yeah, Luke. Well, yeah, because he can't run the same set of tyres.
Nope.
So the virtual safety car should be coming to an end shortly. Oh, Podge picks up a drive-through penalty for speeding under the virtual safety car. Senna's got a fantastic run on his teammate, who drops in just behind him. So team orders in play there. Hopefully no more mistakes like the pit stop. So Senna up into 7th. We head back to the front. DCG has 6.7 seconds over Broomy. So championship leader Broomy, he's there again, isn't he?
Yeah, he's always there, isn't he? So, after stops are done, I would say P1 is Luke, P2 Romsey, and Senna in P3.
Yep, I think Senna's on for a podium here, and I think he's got the pace to get Romsey.
Oh, he's only 2 seconds behind. I thought he was a little further back.
Yeah, he's close. And I've not seen penalties flash up for Senna either, so
I will have a look. Nope, not even a warning.
right, fantastic. That's brilliant. When you think that he's come in with a disconnection, and then the issue with the pit stops, he's pulled back the positions that he has.
Yeah.
You know, to not even receive a warning, that's fantastic driving. So Xander goes past Pro Oliver, who's now in the pits. So Xander has 10 laps to go. Yeah, you're right. These guys from first to third aren't going to be stopping again, or are going to be stopping again, should I say?
Yeah, they'll be on soft though, so they'll be very quick at the end, but still they have got the gap to claw back. Not sure.
Mad G put a new front wing on, just quickly, while I've noticed that, because obviously he'd lost an end plate, hadn't he?
At this moment in time, If
Senna...
DCG pits, he'll be out ahead of Senna. Obviously, that will change quite quickly.
Podge picks up a 5
because
second
Senna
penalty.
is quite a lot faster at the moment. But
He is at the moment, but if DCG has got softs left, because he started on the mediums, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, yeah.
So it's an interesting one.
Yeah.
What have you got? Yeah, 16-second delta. He's going to come out slap bang with them at the moment. But is it too early to pit for softs?
Senna is already in DRS of
11.6. What a lap.
Yeah.
And we've got James Hook joining us in the chat after a retirement. Oh, Senna gets very close to the back of Romsey. Need for Speed picks up a 3-second penalty. Not a great race today for the Mercedes, down in 13th and 14th.
No, I think it's one to forget for them.
So, is this the lap Senna makes the move on Romsey? We go on board. He's got 65% DRS. He gets really close going into there. Romsey gets a good run out of the corner. Does Romsey have DRS as well?
He doesn't.
No, so Senna does, but it doesn't
be in
look
the
like he's
slipstream
going to
though.
get the move done. That's going to be a very late lunge to get that one done. Oh, they get really close again. Oh! Romsey's lost an end plate.
Has he?
Yep. Yep, I saw
Not
it
on my
bouncing
screen.
away down the start-finish straight. Was it Romsey or was it Zander?
It might be Sander, yeah.
Ah,
'cause
it was
he's missing
Zander,
an
yep,
airplane.
it was Zander, yeah, it was a red end plate. So Mad G picks up another 3-second penalty. So that potentially puts Pro Oliver in touch of Mad G. Because I've not seen a penalty for Pro Oliver. And also...
Pro Oliver obviously on fresher tyres, so...
Yeah. So things get... Oh! Really tight through there. There's cars everywhere. What a move! Wow!
Senna in the middle!
Wow!
That was mega.
What a move. Now, can he maintain position under DRS? Romsey is very close to him. He's got the DRS and it looks like Romsey's going to go for the inside. Yeah, Romsey's got that.
Brilliant racing again, I must say.
Yeah, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. So, Broomy's in.
DCG and Broom in
DCG's in.
pits.
So DCG comes out of the pits and he's on the softs and he is right behind Senna and Romsey. So DCG has the better tyres. There are 7 laps to go. Them softs will be fine for 7 laps.
There will.
Luke inherits
As he
the
picks
lead.
up a penalty.
Oh no! Energy Dan picks up a 3-second penalty. I think we're just going to have to wait until the end of the race to see where the penalties leave everyone, because myself and Felix can't take our eyes off of this. So Senna still hunting Romsey down all the time. This is benefiting Luke at the front.
It is, yeah.
So DCG comes into the braking zone. Halderagas picks up.
Oh, Senna goes for the move in the hairpin. Side by side on the
but
straight.
He should now have DRS.
He does.
So that is the move done. And DCG's got DRS as well. So is Romsey about to lose 2 positions? He is. DCG will be able to stop them soft tyres much easier than anyone else. So DCG goes into 3rd. We've got Senna in 2nd, and he's only a 10th. 1 second, should I say, behind Luke. Senna could still win this, but DCG at the moment has got to be the favourite. However, penalties. Wow, what a finish to the race.
Yeah. I'm on pins and needles. Shadow Britain's back in the pits for a set of soft tires.
Yep.
6 laps.
What he's doing here is he potentially between him and Energy Dan, but
I don't know.
He could get a points finish.
He could. He probably will, because he will be much quicker than Energy Dan at this point.
So we've got Senna now closing in on the back of Luke as he goes round the outside. That's not going to work, but he pulls it back. So Luke could now be the one to lose 2 positions.
Bit of weaving from Luke there.
Yeah,
Not sure what I think about that.
You're allowed 1 move. Senna gets alongside him. And he's got the move done. But DCG doesn't. So what Senna's done there is great. He's put some space between himself and DCG. But I think DCG's about to get Luke into turn 1. He knows he needs to make the move. Oh, Broomy picks up a 3-second time penalty as well. So, Mr. 2 wins in a row. Mr. Form Man at the moment, I suppose you could call him.
Yeah.
After a disconnection on the formation lap, as Romsey picks up a 3-second penalty. So that's him, I think, out of the win. Senna's got a real battle on his hands here because them medium tyres have probably got 1 or 2 good laps left, and then the rest of the laps will be holding on to everything that you can. What he needs to do is keep DCG behind him long enough so that when them softs go off, DCG can't pull out enough to get past the penalties that he's got as well.
So DCG needs to pull 6 seconds on Senna.
I don't see it happening.
At the moment.
I don't see it happening. Not with Senna's pace.
No, because the thing is as well that even if he gets past, which he might do here, no, it won't. Is that Senna could probably stay in the DRS, stay in the slipstream.
So DCG sets the it's this lap of the race, and they're going to come together. Oh my god! Wow,
that's close.
DCG needs to get this move done this lap. If he doesn't get it done this lap, I think that's it. But obviously at the same time with DCG pushing, what he doesn't want to do is get another penalty. Senna takes a defensive line into there and the correct one.
Yeah, Senna's playing very well at the moment. He
is. But
puts his car in the perfect spot.
It's pulling Luke and Romsey back up to him as well, because he's having to go defensive. So DCG now gets a great run out of the hairpin. So this should be the move. It gives DCG 4 laps to pull out enough of a lead. But Senna's wing settings give him a real opportunity. So DCG gets the move done, but obviously with penalties, Senna still is our net leader.
He is. He just needs to stay with him. Because the softs will start to degrade at this point.
They will. The only benefit DCG has got is a light car, a very rubbered in track, and you can see already he's pulled half a tenth. It's now up to 6 tenths, so another tenth through there, but Senna has the DRS now. So Senna's got the gap. It's gone up to 7 tenths. So DCG still managing that gap. This is the one though, isn't it? Such a long DRS straight. Romsey seems to have got the move done on Luke as Luke holds the inside. Romsey gets the better grip coming out of the corner, and that's a fantastic move. Well done. So Romsey up into 3rd. We've still got Mad G in 5th, although he does have penalties. But he's got Broomy on soft tyres chasing him down. I've not seen a penalty flash up for Broomy, so I couldn't tell you.
I did.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah. Not sure how many, but I've seen it.
Yeah, Pro Oliver picks one up, so that's him out of the battle now with Mad G and Broomy, I would say. Senna now out of the DRS range of DCG. DCG looking really, really good. Remember our current GP4 World Champion until this season is over.
Yeah.
So we shouldn't.
The returnee.
We shouldn't doubt the guy for pace, but I just don't think he's going to get them 6 seconds. He's now 1.1. 1 second. He made a mistake coming out of there and dipped his rear wheel into the grass. So Senna potentially back within the DRS there. Energy Down picks up a 3-second penalty. Does Senna get the DRS? He doesn't.
He doesn't. I'm not sure if Senna is aware of the penalty situation at the moment.
I would imagine he would have checked, because... Oh, he's got another one, that's it! DCG picks up another 3-second penalty, so all Senna's got to do now is follow him around for 2 laps, and he takes the win. The battle between Luke and Romsey continues. Now, I know both of them have penalties, but I think Romsey has more, so Luke would inherit that position. Got Mad G coming up to the back of Luke and Romsey now after their battles. But we've also got Broomy coming up to the back of Mad G on soft tyres. So can Mad G keep the gap enough? So Senna will know. I think Senna's given up the chase. There's no need to battle. If he keeps it clean, there's no way he's going to lose 7 seconds in 2 laps. So
no, it's not even 2 laps. It's
1.5. Well, 1 1/3. Let's give it a third.
Yeah.
So Hodge picks up another penalty. Yeah, Senna knows. Senna knows.
In any case, I think for DCG's case, I think it was good that he got past.
Oh, that's not going to end well. Jesus, that was close. So we'll just watch this battle for a couple of corners. Oh, Gareth kicks the grass there and runs over the grass on the inside. Does a Vettel. More grass. Jesus, Flymo will be looking to sponsor him if he carries on.
Briggs and Stratton, maybe.
So Broomy's within 3 seconds now. So we flick back to DCG, who... Oh, Luke picks up another 3-second penalty. So what does that do for him and Mad G? We'll wait to see.
I think that puts them on level
okay,
penalties.
So Mad G's going to be looking to get the move done down here, but Luke is going to have DRS from Romsey. We flick back to DCG, who is going to be our winner on track. Can you message Senna privately and ask him not to swear when he comes in, please? So DCG crosses the line. However, Senna takes the win through no penalties. Romsey comes home in 3rd, Luke 4th, Mad G 5th until Broomy crosses the line and jumps to 3rd.
Wow.
So Broomy, our championship leader, still gets on the podium. This guy is relentless. So as we watch the rest, Zander comes across the line in 8th. We've got Shadow Britain in 9th. X-Gamer is in 10th. Now where are they going to go on penalties? Because I think Shadow's got a couple. Nope, they stay where they are. So that's our points finishers. Energy Dan comes home in 11th. Cod Oliver comes home in 12th with Pelderagus in 13th. Psychomich and Podge already finished because they've been lapped, and Harry Need for Speed comes home in 13th.
I can tell you for a fact that Senna has got it out of his system in private message.
Okay, good, because a nice conversation would be great. So if you want to get the podium finishes invited to the group, as we see Senna step onto the top step of the podium after what can only be described as probably his best race so far this season. If I know he won Monaco by an absolute mile, but to come back from the difficulty he's had at the start of the race there, we'll discuss them with him in a moment. I'm now going to run through the finishes for you whilst Felix gets the podium guys in. So in first place with no penalties we have Senna Martins. In second place we have DCG finishing across the line first, but due to penalties drops back, and Broomy, due to penalties with only one, jumps up from 6th to 3rd. Romsey 4th, Luke 5th, Mad G 6th. He'll be pleased with that. I think he'll feel he could have done better, but a good finish nonetheless. Pro Oliver comes 7th, Zander 8th. Shadow picks up another couple of points in 9th, with X-Gamer rounding out the points in 10th. We've got Cod Oliver in 11th, Energy Dan in 12th. Pelderagis, our new reserve driver, takes home 13th, with Shadow in 14th, Psychomich 15th, Podge 16th, and Tommy 17th, with James Hook, who retired early on, coming home in 18th. What a race! What a race!
That was one tasty race.
No safety cars.
No, we had a virtual safety car for a
Yeah,
bit,
just a virtual one. We can handle them.
Yeah,
so
we can.
He's here now, so we'll start with the race winner, as only we should. Senna, 3 wins in a row. Champion-elect, or is Broomy going to give you a battle with this one? How do you feel after that, mate? That must have been exhausting.
This is my best race I ever did, for sure. I just don't believe that this happened. I liked how it was back into P14, I think. Then I pitted behind the Gareth because I was out of the party, so I didn't know his wing had to change, so I lost 8 seconds there
so that's where it happened. Okay, because I was going to ask you about that. So obviously the disconnection on the formation lap, your heart must have fallen out of your... Well, I think we know where that conversation's going, but yeah.
Oh, yeah.
How did that feel?
Yeah, it was just like a feeling like, oh yeah, again, this is gonna happen again, when I track a very lag and I'm faster, and it's gonna again get lost due to connection. But yeah, I don't know how I did it. I really don't.
No, a phenomenal race.
Thank you.
And obviously 3 wins on the bounce, so further pushing yourself up to take that top step off of Broomy. But we'll flick to DCG. How's it going, mate? Yeah, I can imagine. Obviously, crossing the line in first on track, you got the strategy bang on. But obviously the penalties cost you. Yeah, tough. Yeah. I don't think he gave it to you on purpose. I don't think he's into giving people head starts, especially we were saying on the commentary that the steam will be absolutely flying out of his ears, and you could see if you watch the race back, when he came back into the race, he was literally driving like a man possessed. So, but you're back in GP4. Obviously the current world champion, showing good form there as well. Do you think you can make a few upsets for the season? Yeah. Yeah, good. Okay, so we'll flick over to Broomy, who is a bit like that sort of, don't take this the wrong way, but you're like a mosquito in a bedroom at night time that you can constantly hear buzzing in your ear. Now that ear that you're buzzing in is probably Senna's at the moment, because you just don't seem to go away, and I mean that in the nicest way possible. We don't want you to go away, but a really tough race. You still managed to grab a 3rd position out of that. So how are you feeling after that one?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't quite have the pace. I think obviously DCG was slightly ahead of me, but I thought I think you disconnect Senna. I thought when he disconnected, I thought, oh my god, that's a freebie for me. And I thought, oh my! And then when I saw him ahead again, I was like, how is this possible? He's got so much pace at the moment. I mean, he deserves to be winning these races, and he's one of the quick ones for a reason. But I mean, I'd have taken a 3rd before the race because I didn't think I did have that much pace during practice this week. I didn't practice as much as I'd liked, but hey, look, I'll just keep going every week, and if I can keep getting on the podium, I'll take it.
No, good. Felix, any questions for the guys?
I'm just baffled by the race in general. It was brilliant racing from all of you. And Senna, how you did that race without even getting a warning.
Yeah.
And with the disconnection and with the bad pit stop at the beginning,
it looked like everything
I'm lost
went
for
bad.
words.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not the only one, mate. I really don't know what to say. I don't know.
If this is everything going bad, God help everyone when it goes well. Yeah. Felix, have you got anything for DCG and Broomy?
No. I think you covered the most part. Obviously a shame for DCG. with the penalties. Because I feel like the strategy was better in going on the stops at the end instead of the starts.
No. So, obviously that's Canada done. Obviously the championship standards will be updated by Mad G once the any stewards' inquiries have taken place. But all in all, it looked like a really good race. There's a couple of things that will potentially be questioned. I don't think any of them are involving you guys, so I wouldn't worry. But yeah, just a real show again from GP4 as to what good racing can be. Senna, that move that you put on, I think it was DCG and Romsey, or was it
one
Luke?
Guy that was
Luke
I
and
think
Romsey?
It was, I don't know.
But you went
going to the middle, you mean?
Yeah, you went through the middle of them.
Sander and Romsey.
Yeah,
That's it. Yeah, yeah. Thanks. I'll get it right eventually. I was just going to name the other 16 drivers in GP4 until I got there. But no, that sort of driving is what we want to see. You'll be pleased to know I caught that on the stream, so you'll get to watch that one back.
I will.
As well.
I will.
But no, it's a great race. Obviously, Canada's out of the way. We move on to France. I'll start with Broomy because I've got a feeling I already know Senna's answer. How are you feeling about the Paul Ricard circuit, Broomy?
That was probably one of my worst results last year. I think I got a 10th. So it's not a track I would say I love, but I think after watching Senna the last 3 weeks, I'm gonna have to put a bit of practice in this week, definitely, if I'm gonna get anywhere near him. But we'll see. No, I'm looking forward to it. It's a track probably that there won't be too many DNFs, you'd think. But no, it should be good for overtaking and things. I'm looking forward to it.
No, the runoff at Paul Ricard seems to be
Go on
something
forever.
of it's like a fairground car park or something, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just massive.
I think the runoff stretches all the way to Monaco.
Yeah, we don't want to go back there.
Nope.
We definitely don't want to go back there. DCG, how are you feeling about France? Okay, this is going well. Yeah. Well, I'd say in terms of competitiveness and closeness in the league, it looks like a lot of drivers are really starting to find their stride. If you look at Luke tonight, he went on the hards at the start and was there pretty much right at the end. He did. Yes, he managed to make a one-stop work. But I think Senna, I'll come to you about France in a moment. I think the big thing was the undercut. And learning how much that undercut gave you. That was what got you back into a good track position to actually battle. Obviously, DCG's penalties helping towards the result in the end. Did you know in the end of the race how many penalties he had? Senna? Have we lost him?
Oh, well, sorry.
Yeah, good. Glad you listened.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
He's already watching the race back.
Excuse me.
Did you know DCG had the penalties?
I asked it in like lap 34 or something.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
I didn't have any fuel or ERS left. That's why I couldn't fight him anymore.
Okay. And just to cheer the guys up who are racing against you every week, how are you feeling about France?
I'm feeling good. I like it just as Monaco. So.
Okay. Good. Right. Okay. Well, in that case, I'd recommend that the rest of GP4 goes and starts now. Yeah. Well, okay, so that looks like we're in for a good race next week. But, you know, we don't want Senna having to go through the stresses of a disconnection and a double stack pit stop every week. I don't think he could put up with it. No, great race, guys. Honestly, really, really great race. A joy to commentate on. Felix, thank you for joining me on the comms tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
As ever, thanks to all of the guys that make SFR what it is, right through from the guys that set it up to the admins, the stewards, to the guys that turn up every week and race, and the guys that come on YouTube and watch, and also the commentary guys. Senna, obviously, you're back on comms tomorrow night for GP3. Yep. Any inside information on who you think's going to be challenging for the win?
I think Mario Manzo and you will have a good fight.
Yeah.
Maybe Ben and Felix just behind you guys, but I think you and Mauricio will have the best pace.
Okay, well, fingers crossed it's a dry race. For once, I'm going to actually say that, and I think that's more on the basis of how good that race looked. So if you did enjoy that race that you just watched and you haven't already hit the subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and we're here every week, Monday to Thursday from 7:30 p.m. GMT, that's UK time, Senna. And
PM.
yeah, you can't say it because I'll stop having you in conversations. But that's it from GP4 tonight. Thank you again, guys. What a great race. Those of you who watched, if you enjoyed it and you're not racing tomorrow night, we're back again at 7:30 for GP3, where myself and the rest of the guys, along with Felix, will be looking to battle it out for another equally entertaining race in Canada. But other than that, that is it from us. Goodbye from us all. We'll see you soon. Okay, I'm having a moment here, shutting this stream down. There it is.